Today, we're talking about stepping into your zone of genius. Do you guys know what your zone of genius is? Your zone of genius is what you are uniquely suited to do. It is your gifts. It is your talents. It is what you were meant to do on this earth. And today I'm going to be talking to you about how to get into your zone of genius, and more importantly, talking about the barriers that block us from stepping into your zone of genius. You see, I had a $19,000 sales day. And when I had that sales day, I thought, wow, can it really be that easy? Did that really just happen? I don't know if I really believe it. And it was just this inner dialogue that was in the back of my mind, and I just kind of let it go, you know? And then what happened was, a few weeks later, I was knocked out in bed for 3 weeks. One of those weeks, I literally could not even get out of bed. And I realized what I was hitting is an upper limit problem. Have you guys heard of an upper limit problem? In case you haven't, the upper limit problem is when something good happens in your life, an enhanced success, love, creativity, and it's almost too good to be true that you self-sabotage it. Does this sound familiar to anybody? Right. So I've heard these terms before, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cute. But I didn't realize how much it can really affect your day-to-day life. See, I didn't believe that I was worthy for those $19,000. And so my body went into complete shock. And I've become really, really passionate about this topic because no one needs to be self-sabotaging themselves and hurting themselves. We should be able to receive the good in our life. And what I realized is we all have an inner thermostat of how much we allow good into our lives. So when you hit the top of that thermostat, you're like, oh, I cannot take any more good anymore. This is all I'm worthy of. This is all I deserve. Who am I to take more than that person? Who am I to have more than this person? But the truth is, stepping into your zone of genius is going to help so many people. And that's why I'm passionate about helping you guys really step into that, because you guys are leaders, every single one of you. You guys are powerful leaders. You're change makers. And as you step into that calling, and your zone of genius is a calling, everything really falls into place in your life. And until you step into your calling, you'll get alarms and things that happen, illnesses, relationship conflicts. Things will blow up into your life in a way that is not really pleasant. And I don't want that for you. I want you to have a pleasant life. I want you to have a great life. I want you to have a happy, successful life. Do you guys want that? Yeah. Okay, cool. Just making sure, because if you didn't, I'll just walk out. All right, so the thing with the zones, there's 4 zones. So the zone of genius is where we want to be, right? The second one is the zone of excellence. And most of us reside in here. We get comfortable here, and we don't really push outside our comfort zone into our zone of genius. Now, it's all good and great, but imagine the things you can do when you step into your zone of genius. The third zone is the zone of competence. You're good at this thing, but so are a lot of other people. So there's nothing unique about that here. And then there's the zone of incompetence. You're not good at it. You don't need to be doing this. But a lot of people still waste time in this area because they're trying to save money, or they have an ego about it. It's like, I want to do this myself, right? Instead of outsourcing it or doing something like that, where we're wasting a lot of time. But what happens is when you're trying to step into your zone of genius, we tend to hit these upper limit blocks. And there's 4 of them. You know, when I was in bed, I was like, I have to do something. I can't do this anymore. And someone had recommended the book, The Big Leap. Have you guys heard of The Big Leap? Has anybody read the book? Perfect. So you guys know about these barriers. And for those of you who don't know about it, I'm going to walk through it today. And not only do I want to talk to you, I actually want you to internalize it and see how your body feels, because, right, everything is energy. We've talked about that this weekend. See how your body feels, because at every level of success, you're going to hit another barrier, all right? So the first barrier, so some of this might be a little heavy. I'm just gonna say that up front because when I read this book, things just clicked with my soul. So see what clicks with you because there's 4. Some people only have 1 barrier they're working with. Some people have all 4 like me. So the first one is feeling fundamentally flawed. So think about that for a second. I cannot expand to my full capacity because I feel fundamentally flawed. In what area of your life do you feel fundamentally flawed? Maybe not feeling good enough, maybe not feeling appreciated, or whatever that may be. Where do you feel fundamentally flawed, and where has that stopped you from stepping into your zone of genius? You know, I always needed to have credentials. I was like, I'm gonna get this degree, I'm gonna get that, I'm gonna get this. And I've had this list of things that I've signed up for and I've gone through. But to be honest, it didn't actually make me feel less fundamentally flawed. I became something I self-termed a credential chaser because I was trying to fix that part of me. And that part of you literally blocks you from stepping into that zone of genius. The second one is disloyalty and abandonment. The fear of being alone as you step into your zone of genius. Being a leader, have you guys experienced maybe having more ambition than people around you or doing different things than people around you? This one becomes very common in that area where you feel like, oh man, I feel bad. I'm gonna leave these people behind and I don't wanna leave them behind. So I'm just gonna stay in my zone of excellence because I don't want to leave my people behind and I don't wanna be disloyal to my roots. So think about where you have that for yourself. Where do you feel like you are going to be disloyal? And where is that stopping you? The third barrier is feeling like a burden. Success is going to be a burden. More money, more problems, right? I know my mom definitely prescribes to that. When people have more money, they become greedy and selfish. They destroy their families. And that keeps you from stepping into your zone of genius. So where do you feel that you are a burden? There's even been times where siblings or children feel like they're a burden to their parents, or people feel like they're a burden to their spouse, wherever that may be. Where do you feel like a burden? And lastly, the fourth barrier is the fear of outshining others. Where have you felt that, oh man, I can't shine bright? I'm gonna make this person feel bad or look bad. Maybe someone you love, someone you're close to, and you don't step into your zone of genius because you're afraid of that. So what do you do about this? What you're gonna do is start feeling good right now with whatever you have. What you're gonna do is you're gonna increase your thermostat so you can feel more good. You can allow more good to come in. Are you willing to let more good come in? Say, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Because it all starts with that willingness first. So where can you start feeling more good? That is the first and simplest way to start increasing your thermostat. I want to leave you with one quote from Gary Hendricks from The Big Leap. Are you ready to take that big leap to step into your ultimate level of success? Thank you, guys.